Hello, this is RV Vagabond Jerry, and today I'm going to take you through the Overland Park Arboretum and Botanical Garden. And the Arboretum part is that they have a lot of trees here, as well as a lot of flowers and all kinds of plants. It's a really large place, so I'm going to walk through the whole area and show you around. So come on, let's go. Notice they really care for their lawns here. A lot of big wide lawns. And it's open 9 to 5 every day. A couple of days a week they're open till 8. So the first thing I see is this lovely little creek that goes down to the lake right there. Well, this is a little odd. The creek seems to be going into this real small, fairly small pond. I guess it eventually works its way down there into the lake. Look at these two frogs about to jump in. Well, so far I am very impressed. Just at the beginning here, there's the lake, and here's an artist. I wonder what he's painting. Looks like he actually is about finished, but it's kind of hard to see the detail when you got black on black. But what he's painting is this scene right here, with that footbridge going over, and that is right next to the big lake. Real lovely big lake. It looks like there may be a fountain in there, but it's turned off. I guess that's what that is. Big building over there on the other side. These red roses are getting fainted in the sun. And look at this back here. This sign says blue something. And it's referring to these 3 blue flowers back there. Here's the back side of the lake. I'm going to go over and see what's in that big building over there. Here's some pretty dark red roses. But what I find interesting is that this sign says it's Black Panther. Got a waterfall here just below the building. A double waterfall. And this little boy looks like he is about to launch his boat. Here is an interesting sculpture. No idea what it's supposed to be. Well, I just entered the building. First thing here is the vision room. Although I don't know what you're supposed to see in the vision room. Well, this is the big building. Has an information desk there. And the Longhouse gift shop. Also in here is their cafe, and here is their menu, the sandwiches and things. That barbecue pulled pork sandwich looks good to me, with fountain drinks and ice cream for dessert. So that's about it for this big building that they call the Longhouse. And they got a garden right here. And there's the gate leading to the rest of the property. Diana's garden is kind of small and not very diverse. Well, I guess this is supposed to be a makeup of Kansas City in the very early days when it was a small town. With these kinds of vehicles. from Oakland Motors. Got a lot of trains running around here. And this looks like the more industrial part of town with lots of train tracks. And of course you need a brewery. And next door to the brewery, it looks like a tornado came through and just took away one roof of one building. The others are fine. They do have a pretty extensive railroad track that goes way up there. There's one coming. That's a really old style railroad. And here's a normal full human size ticket booth to go on the miniature trains. I wonder how they shrink you down to fit the train. Here comes the train through this other part of town. And here is the brand manufacturing company. What is a brand? How do you manufacture a brand? And they got a nice waterfall here going underneath the railroad tracks.
You're ready to be out somewhere else.
Well, this is a pretty nice railroad miniature track system they have set up here. And of course, no museum is a real museum without a caboose. Since they quit using cabooses, you see them everywhere in museums. Wonder what the little trains think of the giant caboose next to it. And I have to admit, this is the first chocolate syrup car I've seen on a train. And here's a type of windmill I've never seen before. One that has a frog underneath it. Well, Arboretum, they sure do have a lot of trees here, both dead and alive. How would you like to be in charge of mowing the lawns here? Oh man, in the middle of the summer? I don't think so. This lady is having a fun day in the sun. And over here is another pond with two, count them, two waterfalls. Looks like this early in the year, a lot of the flowers are just starting to bud. These purple ones look like they may be bloomed. Nice pond here. And here's a paved walk that goes through what they call the woodland garden. That goes through all the trees here in the shade. Here's another waterfall that goes down towards, flows to the other two waterfalls at the pond I showed you. They've got a couple getting married right there, right next to the really big pond I showed you before. Nice place to get married, I guess. I think they're just doing pictures here. They might have the wedding inside the longhouse building. I saw a room in there where they could. Here's an overlook down onto some square ponds. That seems a little unusual. This whole big pond, which you might call a lake, that's the only fish I've seen. I don't know how many there might be. Well, this is a very picturesque site here. And there is the statue of the artist I showed you earlier. And guess what? We actually have a live artist right over to the left here. Looks like she has just gotten started on that white board. Now I'm going to go around what they call the sculpture loop. And here is the first one. It's called Enlightenment. Of what? I don't know. This one is called Silvery Dream. It's a lady there. She must be dreaming of some silver, I guess. This is called Children with Hanging Key. But I don't see a key hanging anywhere. This one is just called Dreaming. I guess that lady might be dreaming of a better looking baby. If that is a human. And I'd say this couple have had their hearts ripped out, plus some. You might have noticed I like making insipid comments about statues, but I really do like statues. A lot of statues are my favorite art form. This one is called Peacock Dance. And I don't know what's going on here. This one's called Childhood. That's what they named it. But that person in the middle, I don't know. Those are some odd looking children, and that's a really odd looking adult there. By the way, all the trails here are paved, so this would be good if you're with a person in a wheelchair. Now this is a statue, I guess you would call it, made out of trees. Interesting. Got some little houses there. Now this lady has a very attractive chest area, but the rest of her leaves a lot to be desired, if you ask me. And here is some interesting characters. What could that be about? Here's another tree-based sculpture. That is interesting. Now this lady is holding her head high. More tree-based sculptures. Oh, there's a big one down there. And this is what that big one looks like from the side, which is very interesting. We've got some kind of work going on here. There's got to be a story behind all this. This one is titled New Life. Little baby, no. Looks like it's maybe a couple years old. Interesting tree sculptures. I don't think I've seen any like this in other sculpture parks. Well, I think I've shown you about 3/4 of what they have here. It's a very large property. A lot of walking. So be prepared for that if you come by here. Good day, folks.